It doesn't have to be kept inside. So share what you know, be embarrassed, ask the questions, and just don't ever stop having fun. I think that's the biggest thing when you have an audience is don't stop having fun, because if you stop that, it's going to resonate in what you're putting out there and people will catch on to that energy real quick.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Navigating the World of Nano Influencers panel. We'll start by introducing ourselves. My name is Larissa, or online, the Midnight Creative or the Digital Toy Box. I'm an author, but for the more nano influencer side, I showcase collectibles and do toy photography and take photos at events like this.
Hi, I'm Matt Blazi. I am the author of 8 Days in the Woods, The Making of the Blair Witch Project. I also work with the George Romero Foundation. I host their YouTube channel, Garf247, with my co-host Eric. We interview cult, classic, independent horror film folks and new and upcoming folks. I also run the Blair Witch Experience, a movie location tour of the filming sites for the Blair Witch Project. And filming locations are a big side hobby that's turning into a big business that's really fun to do, and I love talking about that.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt Lolich. I am the host of the Scary Movie Project podcast, where we talk about what else, scary movies, but we also dabble into spooky topics. We just had a great Friday the 13th live stream with David Oman, who lives 2 houses down from where the Manson murders happened. That was great. We talk about film locations. I give an Exorcist tour every year around here. I've done Blair Witch stuff with Matt, which is awesome. And anything spooky, scary, paranormal, and documentaries, it's in my wheelhouse. So that's what I do.
Hello, I'm Neil Cohen. I'm the author of the Exit Zero Zombie trilogy. It was a fiction trilogy. The zombie apocalypse begins in New Jersey, because where else would it begin? And then after I finished that book, I wrote a business book called Business is Dead, Resurrecting Entrepreneurship. And it was all about fandom-themed entrepreneurs, people that launched businesses based on their fandom. So passion over profit, fandom over income, and that's kind of what my topic is going to be here today. And you can find me online at Exit Zero Zombie.
Hi, I'm Nortsauce, one half of the creators of Myth of the Machine, a crossover comic on Tumblr. I'm here today with my co-star Flygutzz, and we're here to talk about our comic and how we got up to creating it in the first place.
Hi, I'm Flygutzz. I'm the other half artist and writer of Myth of the Machine. I'm also active on Instagram and Tumblr and TikTok for animations, art about anime, video games, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, I forgot, I should mention, find me at the Scary Movie Project on the socials and YouTube, so yeah.
Some of us have business cards too, so you can feel free to come up and we can always chat after.
Stickers,
maybe
cards,
outside.
everything.
Yeah, stickers, come free stickers. And what is a nano influencer? That's most of us except for the last two down there. You're, I think, micro-influencers. You're higher up than the rest of us. A nano influencer is someone with 1,000 to 10,000 followers. For nano influencer, it's more authenticity with a smaller audience, and it's more personal as opposed to professional. So I guess I'll kick it off with a couple questions, and then I'll open it with more discussion for everyone here, and then we'll have some Q&A, because I know there's some fans out there. So what type of stuff do you post as a nano influencer? I find it's best to keep with one topic or one niche, no matter how, I know Neil has said this, no matter how small your niche might be, there's definitely still fans out there for something. What to post, showcase your work, give reviews of products or things, tell people you like their work if you enjoy it, they always like to hear that. Interviews, I know Matt does, both Matts here do a lot of that. And then for toy photography, for me, if there's a contest online hosted by like Funko, they would do Funko Photo a Day challenges, and people used to win free prototypes if they participated. They could win, there would be one winner. So definitely look for contests and use hashtags. That would be my recommendation. So what type of stuff do you post?
For me, a lot of times it is, I do a lot of horror conventions. talk about movies all the time. People are constantly asking me about movies, and I'm watching them. I also, like I said earlier, I do a lot of filming locations. So even before I came here today, I stopped and did a filming location here in DC for a movie, True Lies, that I've never done. And this place is just littered with movie locations, and that's something that I like to do because, one, it shows people that you don't have to go super far to find some place that was in a movie that's recognizable to the general public. But then it's also fun with folks in your genre or subgenre to find that really obscure location from a popular scene that you really you haven't been able to find. So it's talking to folks about that and then finally finding it and letting other people know where to go. And I think, we were talking about this before, the word influencer, it's really a weird word. Like influencers, you think of the models on Instagram telling you to try the makeup or buy this product. If anything, I like to think we influence people to go out and do the things that they love. Don't care about what people say, post it, show that you're having fun, because that's what it's all about. And that's how we got into this, is we are sharing our hobbies and activities that you can have fun with them, that you can get an audience, because it's not about just putting the stuff out there, but it's also about connecting with people and learning from each other and finding new ways to do things in that hobby and to make yourself better and to keep having fun with it.
To talk about like a niche kind of thing, I think that's a lot of the stuff I do, right? So I had a guest come on my show, did an episode about Rob Zombie's Firefly trilogy, but I found him because he did a 2.5-hour podcast episode about Pet Sematary 2. Who does that, right? But that's the whole thing, is like, I found this and he said, oh, there's an audience for that, he figured. He was right. I don't love that movie, but I've seen it a lot. And so I thought that's just so interesting, right? So, one of my favorite films, I think, one of the great horror films ever, is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? Well, what are the odds of me getting the director of photography to come on my show? Well, Daniel Pearl is amazing, and he came on the show. And that's that niche. Like, that's a little film that was nothing. It's obviously one of the greats, but he understands that, and he said it in the episode, we love you all. We love you horror fans. You guys are, like, amazing with this. So he's happy to come on and talk, right? So those little niche things you'll find in there, a little movie that no one knows about, or someone that came on to talk about this, or some little random film that you've never heard of. There's a film called Street Trash that a friend and I did. Matt knows it. The movie's amazing, right? There's a little niche for everything. There is something for everyone out there. People make podcasts and things about fonts. Like, there is something for everybody out there. And once you get into it, you can't get enough of it, and that community becomes like a huge thing, right? And it's big, and it becomes something that you love so much. So you think it's nothing there, and like you said, go try it, right? Go talk about, I don't know, carpets, whatever you want to do, like go out there and talk about that. You will be shocked by how many people actually will embrace that and want to talk to you about that.
Just jump in real quick. It seems like a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people in movies, usually the indie ones, like to talk about what they've done. I know Eduardo Sanchez, one of the directors of the Blair Witch.
A great example. He came on to talk with us, but also he had a movie called Seventh Moon. And when he saw a posting that my co-host and I, he was like, oh, dude, can I come on your episode? I love that film. No one ever talks about my film, Seventh Moon. So he came on. That was great. Yeah.
It's funny seeing his podcast because he's a huge Star Wars fan. So you see Baby Yoda in the background. And I'm like, isn't that the Blair Witch director?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Neil, go ahead.
Oh, well, when I had originally started, I was promoting my fiction novel. So I was using all the traditionals: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. But then when I came out with the business book, I had to switch. And obviously, being the oldest person in this panel, I use the oldest social media, which is LinkedIn.
Hey, yeah.
I know. So I go out, I get my gramophone, I crank it up, I put on my 38, and I put the thing next to it.
You're going to have to explain everything you just said.
I know.
Yeah, they don't know what a gramophone is.
None of those words are in the Bible. I know. So, but then when I moved to LinkedIn, I needed to change the format, because I was not looking for readers. I was looking to influence people and kind of build my creds as a business book author. So on LinkedIn, you kind of have 3 different aspects of influencers. You have what's called a subject matter expert. It's me. They're very niche. They have subject matter in one very very specific, kind of like you were talking about with the fans of fonts and carpets. But these are subject matter experts in one specific area. Next, you have influencers. Influencers are the people that are influencing you to do something in some way, manner, or fashion, or to follow something. And finally, you have thought leadership, thought leaders. Thought leaders are people that are creating original content, always. They are not reposting. They're not going to ChatGPT to create 5 bullet points. They are coming up with original thoughts, original opinions on a topic and growing followers as a thought leader. So you have to kind of figure out which way you want to go and then start building your LinkedIn following. And LinkedIn is not something like the traditional social media where you can get millions of followers or even 100,000 followers. You have to build each and every follower, and it takes time and it takes effort, just like every other social media, but it does not come quickly.
My father likes to use the term widely known in small circles, and that's where I think you can build up yourself through there. I used to post smaller comics for smaller fandoms, and that's how I originally got my name out there. When I did that, I used to do something relatable or something silly or funny, but then I slowly got into more lore-based comics where they were less episodic and more of like an overarching story. I definitely think that's what keeps people coming back. Something that you need to know is where your strengths lie, and mine was not in relatable comics, I'll tell you that. It was in more of overarching stories that had secrets and stuff like Gravity Falls. I really liked that show, and so I wanted to make something similar to that.
Yeah, but I think the running theme throughout all of this is just find something you're passionate about and stick to it. Because, like, no matter what you find, like they said before, you're always going to find people who are still fans of whatever you're a fan of. And those people are going to gather around and bolster you up, and then you can help bolster them up. I think that's
Yeah.
All right, so the next topic we'll discuss is how to engage with followers. I recommend, and obviously the big celebrities can't respond to everyone. I'm sure their notifications just blow up. But for the nano influencers, I recommend being responsive, leaving a comment if you like someone's work. Like I said earlier, people love to hear that you love their work. Give shout outs to people in the community. That's how I actually met Neil. So I said, this is an interesting book, Business is Dead. And then I'm like, oh, you live near me. Okay. Small world. Yeah,
There it is, shameless promotion.
And another way to engage with followers is mention upcoming events. Some panelists here have been really good about advertising this event. So how do you all engage with your followers?
I mean, a lot of times during the day, like I'll have people reach out to me about stuff because I'm either working or doing something, but I always try to make sure that I'm talking or responding to people timely. And I'm always appreciative when someone says, hey, did you know about this? Or I think you would like this. Like, wow, you're thinking about me, whatever it is. Like, I really appreciate it. But then I also make sure that, like Larissa said, I give back to my favorite people that have inspired me to do the things that I love, and not just congratulating them or saying good job, is asking them questions, maybe asking them tips or tricks about certain things, because you can tell the folks that are actually genuine, have the good followings, they're the ones that are sharing the information. They're not keeping the secret. There's no rule book or hierarchy. We're not getting a medal at the end of the day for being the biggest fan or the biggest whatever. And it's always remembering that everybody started somewhere, and it's just about being nice and genuine and being enthusiastic. If you're treating it like it's a job, or it's, why is this person asking me about this? I just posted about it. You never know what that person is going to feel or think of you after you engage with them. So just, answering their questions, engaging them, and if you don't have time, say, I'll get back to you. Most people do not care about that stuff. They just want to have that conversation with you. And if you can take a few minutes out of your day to help someone's day, you have to remember, someone did that for you at some point, and it's always good to try to pay it forward as much as you can and show appreciation for that.
I think those are all accurate, right? So always include other people, and anytime I have an episode or any kind of content, you look at something, okay, cool, add someone's thing to your story, put their name on it, right? If you have the episode you do with them, put their name out there. The episode may be an hour long, and that's all it is, but chop it up into pieces, make little other content, tag them in everything, include them in everything. Like, blow them up, help them out, because, without other people, I don't really have a show. I don't have this, because I need other people's help, right? We're helping each other out. Tag people, include people, make them part of what you're doing, because again, like you said, someone else may have done it for you, right? Or they'll come back and do it again for you, and you'll grow that community. That's, I always look out for someone's, whether it's on LinkedIn or an Instagram post, tag it, repost it, put their name on it, say, hey, this is a great idea. That's how it'll work. And the next thing you might tag somebody. Eli Roth is like one of my heroes, right? And there's been times where I've tagged him on things and he'll repost, and I'm like, that's amazing. I love this dude, and he's reposting what I put on there. So it's like a community that is, it is so big. Everybody wants the follower or whatever. Don't make it about yourself, though, because trust me, it's kind of like driving. If you let people in traffic, everybody else goes and you move along. If you involve everybody else with you, the ride is better, and you will do so much more.
Just to jump in there real quick. You maybe reminded me of how we met, because I didn't know who you were, but I think I Googled something about Exorcists in DC, and it said, oh, Matt Lolick does the Exorcist tours, and I had found out that there were Exorcist archives. I'm like, hey, I don't know who you are, but just a heads up, there's archives. So, and that's what
I had no idea.
You end up making friends sometimes.
I had done, and she's the one that found it. Yeah, exactly. So that is a perfect example of it. You bet.
And then Matt Blazi, I just ran into in a cemetery.
I was doing a Blair Witch Experience tour, and the first Blair Witch Experience was me and 3 people the first year, and they didn't know me, and we drove around the countryside of Maryland and then went camping together. And the next year, it was after the co-director Ed Sanchez started talking about it and kind of legitimized it and said, hey, you guys should go do this. Every year it grew exponentially for a bunch of years until people started coming in from all over the world just for me to take them into the woods. I still think it's the weirdest thing. I have yet to lose anybody.
Killed yet by
I haven't lost anybody yet.
But
it's always fun because we were in the Burkittsville Cemetery, and Larissa and her brother get out of the car, and they're there doing Blair Witch stuff and had no idea about my event. And that's how we met a bunch of years ago. So you never know until you go out and actually do this stuff and put yourself out there, you never know who you're going to meet. I go out.
Right place, right time. Sometimes it's amazing.
When I do filming locations, a lot of times I'll recreate the whole scene, which includes shouting, running somewhere, laying in the middle of the road, just because I'm going to go have fun. I'm going to go do it. And sometimes you just never know what people are going to be like. What are you doing over there? And then you strike up a conversation, and you can become friends with them, or you just connect and you network. So you never know until you just go do what you want like no one's watching, and you're going to have a blast, and you never know what kind of dividends are going to be paid off from that.
Yeah, it can't be a selfish me
that's
thing.
It.
It's about community.
That's a great meet cute story. Well, we were in the cemetery, and then
like everyone else, we met in a cemetery.
I know. So
Very goth panel.
well, for LinkedIn, it's just like anything else. You're a slave to the algorithm. But with LinkedIn, when you're promoting someone else, you're actually promoting yourself. Like, they've just recently changed the algorithm where if someone posts something and you just post under there, hey, great post, or thumbs up, it doesn't do anything. You have to type at least 8 words. You have to say something about the post, reference the post. By doing so, not only do you amplify their post with the algorithm, you and your profile is raised. So by helping someone else, you're actually raising your own algorithm presence with LinkedIn. So it's understanding whichever platform you're using, how to go along with the algorithm that you can A, help others, and B, help yourself.
There was a meme I saw once. It said something like, because again, with the algorithm, more people will see it if there's more engagement. And the meme went, there's 2 people arguing. I should stop it, but I'm getting really good engagement now. The post is going out, and more people are
stop that.
finding.
Oh, well, how to deal with fans, that's easy. Make a Discord server and then you run away. That's how I did it.
Okay.
Okay, but all jokes aside, I genuinely think this is a really good message of literally just bolstering each other up. I think it really helps that we were also fans and fandoms. Basically, we just are bigger fans, and we just got ourselves out there. We just screamed louder than a lot of people, but I don't think that's the end of it all. I think other people need to start screaming with you, and that's how you bolster each other up. It really is just interacting with friends almost, or almost just people who are in the same room as you. You guys are dealing with the same situation, and you guys are looking at each other like, okay, so how do we discuss this? It's like a classroom almost, but you're actually friendly with the people in there instead of not knowing who they are.
An actual fun classroom, no math. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the place of the teacher, because then that creates egos, and well, that's not ever welcome in fandoms. Am I right, guys? Or no?
Anyways, but yeah, interacting with fans, the thing to understand is that all of your fans you're also a fan. Like everything, this entire panel, like, is just full of people who are a fan of things. And so to get content out there is sort of to just talk to people, find people who have the shared common interest, and understand that you're all just very passionate about the same thing. So it's like an immediate icebreaker between.
Connect, start making conversations with people. You guys are like the same thing. You guys don't be intimidated by other people. The biggest thing that I have to say whenever you're talking with anybody is you have to be okay with getting embarrassed. Like, it sucks, you don't have to like it, but you have to be at peace with it. You have to, okay, that was embarrassing, I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah, and also piggyback off of that. If it's embarrassing, then there's something to laugh at. There's something to connect to. You know that they're both human. You're both a fan of something. You're both like the same things. Immediate icebreaker, immediate connect. It's just like finding new friends.
And sometimes it's good to listen to feedback. I mean, sometimes people will really like what you're doing. They might say, oh, it'd be really cool if you were able to do this. And it might be something you've never thought about doing with your content or whatever it is. Think about it. Like, I got some feedback from some of my movie location photos at the end of the year. And I was like, well, what can I do to maybe make it better, change it up? So I spent some time figuring out and I've been working on that over the last couple of weeks, and I found out I really like doing it this way. So there's always a way to listen to feedback and evolve what you're doing, because it may help you out a lot with saving time, saving effort, just becoming more organized depending on what you're doing. So sometimes listening to people, they're putting stuff out there because they're seeing something that may make it more enjoyable for them or others, and may make it easier for you. And that can be whatever. But you don't have to listen to everything. No, if we took everyone's suggestions, we would constantly be changing up how we do stuff. But you still have to do what you want to do, how it's comfortable for you. And like they said down there, you gotta embarrass yourself. I can't tell you how many times I've laid in the street and a car comes by and goes, "Are you okay?" I go,
You don't get hit.
Like, "We're doing all right. We're just doing a movie scene." They go, "Oh, what movie?" And then you start talking to them about it. And they sometimes just sit there and watch you. Because again, if the scene calls you to scream something out, I'm screaming that out. I feel bad for the neighbors because they're probably hearing it all the time, but I want to do that for myself. I don't want to leave anything on the table when I go places and do things. I want to do as much as I can to say, that was fun. Can I do it again? What else can I do? So I'm always looking to better the next experience for myself. And then again, you never know who you're going to inspire by doing it and pushing the envelope. But then again, I take cues from other people. So it all feeds out. It doesn't have to be kept inside. So share what you know, be embarrassed, ask the questions, and just don't ever stop having fun. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's good.
When you have an audience, is don't stop having fun, because if you stop that, it's going to resonate in what you're putting out there, and people will catch on to that energy real quick. And they'll stop following you, they'll stop asking you questions, they'll stop involving you in stuff, because if you start becoming negative or becoming a drag, then people are just going to move on and engage with folks that have more of a positive attitude and outlook on stuff.
If I could piggyback off of that for just a second, I would also like to say that you have to also understand yourself. You have to be okay with setting boundaries with other people. These people are people you don't know fully, but you're getting to know them, which is fine. It's great. It's fun. But you have to be okay with setting boundaries for yourself. You have to be okay to say, hey, I'm actually not comfortable with that. Or, hey, actually, I don't really want to do this. You have to be okay with that. You can't say yes to everything, because there's going to be a lot of people. There's a lot of people in the world, and you're going to you're gonna talk to them all. You're gonna want to talk to them all, but sometimes you just can't, and that's okay. It's okay to understand yourself, and it's okay to separate yourself from a situation.
Yeah, and then sometimes you don't want to talk to them all, because as we were talking before, no one wants to be like a fan of, or like to follow someone who isn't happy with what they're doing. So if you can tell that they're not happy, or you can tell that you're not going to be happy, then don't force yourself.
Yeah, I know, I used to do fan fiction writing, and I remember there were a couple times people would reach out and wanted me to write things, and there was clearly like an ulterior, not so good motive. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, no, and then I eventually turned the private messaging off. I'm like, okay, nobody can contact me anymore. I will turn it off, say thank you to someone if they had favorited something, and then go back and turn it off. But what Matt said, was a good point about how your content can evolve. Now, if you're posting about monsters and decide you want to post about carpets, I wouldn't recommend that. You might lose a lot of followers.
Yeah.
But I know for me, for the digital toy box, I was like, well, the original handle was Creative Funko World, because I couldn't think of anything better at the time. And I just did Funko products. But then as time went on, I'm like, I want to showcase things I find. Hey, Hasbro Black Series Star Wars is kind of cool. I want to post about that too. So it's okay to, if you keep it in line, it's okay to evolve some of your content over time.
What if you post about the carpet in The Shining, though?
Oh, that you can tie that in.
There's probably a whole subgenre just for that out there already.
I think I got a picture of my mystery mini, Grady twins in a hallway when I was like, okay,
Love it.
there's your carpet. So I think that we've pretty much covered the topics I mentioned in the description for the panel. So is there anything you want to bring up?
I'll throw in one thing like collaboration, trying things, right? So Buffalo Bill's house, the house from The Silence of the Lambs, is a house, and it is owned by Matt knows Chris Rowan. He runs it. He comes to every Monster Mania, and he works his butt off to promote this place, and you can stay there. It's awesome. Now, I love the guy. We're going to get an episode at some point. He's a very busy dude. But one thing I thought of, this is how cross-promotion works. I said, look, dude, let me grab some quick video of you real quick in front of your booth, talk about you, plug me real fast. I've got the video. I've got some great audio we did. I'm going to throw something together. I'm going to post it. Not only is it going to give him the exposure, it's going to come back for me, and we're going to, that whole paying it forward thing is going to work, and that's exactly how these things. You know what? I thought of it on the spot. I was like, let me just grab this real quick. It might be amazing. It might be subpar, but try it, right? See how it goes. Help him out. It'll help you out.
Yeah, I did the same thing with him. I went out and interviewed him for the George Romero Foundation just because, it's cool. It's an Airbnb from The Silence of the Lambs, and he recreated the well in the basement.
It's awesome.
A fully immersive experience.
Yeah.
And I had been taking some of my movie location photos, so I take a screenshot, print it out, and it looks like a frame in frame. So I took those, and I actually left the photos there. I said, here's the photos around the house so your guests can use them, and we'll put it on our network. You can use my photos and everything. And it's just nice when people want to help people because it's a nice thing to do. It lifts them up. You get a chance to do something fun.
That works.
So it never hurts to collaborate as long as it's for the right reasons.
You're supporting and advertising each other, but it's also good to ask, is it okay if I take a photo or videotape? So definitely, get
Definitely,
permission with that.
Boundaries.
Boundaries, yes.
Boundaries, yes, boundaries.
Yeah, mine was Snooki put me on the map. Didn't know I was putting out my books, and suddenly she's put out a tweet that she's read my books and said I died and went to zombie heaven, and that was it. We stopped the presses. I sent it to my publisher. Moving forward, we went to her people and said, can we put that on the cover? She said yes, and that was on the cover of the book, and boom, it went on from there.
That's amazing.
I wonder how she found it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Any other topics you'd like to bring up?
No, but I think one of the things that we touched on here really was authenticity. If you say, I love the lifestyle of a fashion influencer, but you don't really know fashion, don't try to become a fashion influencer. Figure out what you love, and that's where you're going to go. There may be 2 followers, 3 followers, 5 followers, and then they tell 2 people, and they tell 2 people, and that's how it grows. But don't try to be an influencer of something you're not really going to feel passionate about. And the second is be consistent. Across all platforms, across your fandom, pick a topic. If you try to be all things to all people, it's not going to work. You've got to kind of find your focus, find your niche, like you guys did.
Yeah.
It's like,
Being authentic is huge, right? I love horror movies, and I love scary things, and I have my whole life. And for a while, it was, where is the place where I can actually like let this all come out to everyone? And finding a podcast to do that was end up how those hours of episodes are those moments where I can sit with someone, whether it's Matt or a fan or one, or Ed Sanchez. Like that was like my oh my God moment. I'm going to talk to this guy. It's like the greatest movie ever. Like he's going to be on my show. And you have those fanboy moments, but it's so much fun. Or going to places like in LA to see these famous places, or Amityville. I've met like experts who've written books on it, and just like these things have all, because I love something, has led to something that is so much and so meaningful to me. And then for people to listen to it and watch it, and we get to talk to you guys about stuff like right now. It's great, It's a wonderful thing.
you also don't need to stick exactly to, like, of course, find your niche, but of course, your interests are going to change over time, and you want to be online for as long as you can. So you don't have to stick to one thing, but you can also, like we did, we made a comic basically combining all the things that we really liked. And they weren't popular things, like Vending Machine, that's like a 10-year-old game, and also, but here we have a lot of cosplayers for Cuphead. We have Dandy's World. We have the own Miku over there. Yeah, I've been looking at you. I like your cosplay. But yeah, there's always going to be somebody there that you are a fan of, like, and also, yeah, so we have all these cosplay. We got Eno, we have Cuphead, we have many Cupheads. There's a lot. It's like, you're always going to find your people, and those are the people you stick with. That's right.
I know we've talked a lot about horror, but there are two animators down there. Have you met any other animators or cartoonists that you admire?
Several people. Oh my goodness. There, one of the, if you guys know K-pop Demon Hunters.
Woo!
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of niche. I don't know about that
My 4-year-old niece is a fan of K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
So there you go.
22-year-old.
The creator's husband and I are mutuals. He created Kipo, the Age of the Wonder Beasts. I made fan art for him, and we talked once. It was fantastic. He's a really awesome guy. But there is several other...
It's a good cartoon.
Go watch it. There is several other people we met during this time. We keep meeting them. There's like super popular creators in like niche fandoms like Dandy's World. We got to meet them. We even got like a small shout out from the creator of Dandy's World, which was insane. So yeah, it's all about meeting people, really. You got to just talk to people. It's not so scary once you get over the fear of getting embarrassed by it. The worst they could say is nothing, really, and that's about it. It's okay to really get over yourself for a second, and it's okay to have a moment you look back on like, oh my God, why did I say that? I have several of those moments, but every opportunity
Why would you say that? Many of those moments.
Every opportunity you miss is an opportunity gone. So you have to just take what you can get, even if you're gonna get embarrassed, because sometimes, very few times, but sometimes you're gonna strike gold.
And sometimes you can learn from mistakes too.
Yeah.
And also the cool thing about being animators like me and Nort is that it's like animation is something that's very tied in with a lot of different things, and animation and art. Like no matter what the industry says, there's always artists. There's always a need for artists. And so just posting my stuff online, I was a big fan of My Hero Academia. And so I just posted a lot of fan art of it. And the voice actor for one of the main characters, well, not main characters, but voice actor for one of the characters, Kaminari, actually voiced over one of my comics, and I thought that was so cool. So you will always find a way to go hand in hand with other fan bases, other mediums, like actors, voice actors, tours. There's and art is a very beautiful thing, and it's a very wide thing.
I think what Disney has proven is that you can always animate a live action, but you can never live action an animated show.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing the stuff without the expectation of getting something in return, I think it shows people a lot. You're not doing it to gain something, whether it's monetarily or exposure. I do what I do because I love it. I love sharing it. I love having fun. And I've gotten the opportunities to be interviewed on special features for box sets movies. I've done commentaries on box sets. I've been approached for different interviews, and I'm thinking, who am I? Like, why are they asking me this? Like, I'm just out here having fun. And it's a very humbling experience when it's situations like that. You're like, oh my God, like this is like, you have like that fangirl, fanboy moment, and you're like, well, how did I get here? What am I doing? And it's like, I'm just being myself.
And it's fun when you become friends with them too. Like, I know last year when AuthorCon, Jamie Flanagan was there. Mike Flanagan, anybody like the Mike Flanagan horror films? No, we got mostly animators here? Okay. All right, it's a few Flanagan fans. And his sibling was there, and we ended up becoming friends. And
There you go.
So it's fun to, I know the screenwriter and the director's sibling and things like that. So you never know who you might even become friends with, kind of what we said earlier.
Yeah, they sometimes lean on you to find out from a fan perspective because you're seeing things differently than they are. You know, an artist is always going to look at their art and think, well, this is wrong, I could have done better, and then you're sitting there going, this is like perfect. There's flawless, don't do it. So it's always nice when they reach out to you and ask your opinion on something, or they're asking you about their own product because you know more about it, unfortunately, and they need to get some information for something. But it's just fun. It's just, you know, before the days of the internet, I never thought that I would meet half the people that I grew up watching movies for, and now I get a chance to talk to them on the regular and see them regularly because it's just, you just show how much you love and appreciate their work, and they love it, and they can see that you're a good person, and you just end up becoming friends and collaborators and all this, and it's just one of the best feelings in the world. And especially with folks up here like this, like if we hadn't done something at one point, we never would have crossed paths.
That's right.
To do this. And now we have a great network. We're always talking about stuff. And I think that's just, you just have to get out there and network with folks. And you just never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to become friends with, and what that's going to lead you down the road.
To summarize this and wrap it up in a neat little bow, I think the main message here is talk to everybody here, because everybody here is exactly the same person that you were once or you are now. You're all fans of the same thing. Everybody here is here to support each other. I mean, you're all here for a reason. Talk to people, have fun, and love what you do and be loyal to it, because if you hate what you do, it's going to show through your work.
Yeah,
And if you love what you do, who knows?
I think cons have become bigger the last 10 years or so. It's not just, a couple people at a Star Trek con. There's obviously multiple fandoms, multiple genres, more people. I know I have lots of coworkers I end up here, and I am not an author, as that's not how I get my money. That's what I do for the fun of it. So, cons are a good way to meet people, meet followers. Sometimes the smaller cons are good for meeting the celebrities or like the artists. Like Fairfax Comic Con, I feel like is good for if you get more of a chance to talk with the celebrities. Here, the lines are long, but AwesomeCon is still awesome. So, anyway, we have about 8 minutes left. So, should we maybe open it up to Q&A?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions out there?
Hi, everyone. So thank you for coming. I would like to talk to you after this, if possible, but my biggest question and stress and the overwhelm is organization, the content, the clutter, time management, burnout. Like, I'm one person, run the show. I try to work with someone on Fiverr. I mean, now I'm kind of using like AI to help me out a little bit. So how do you manage like all of it? Because I also have a podcast myself. I'm on all platforms. So it's just overwhelming. Thank you.
Sure thing. I overwhelm myself by making 5 themed Instagrams, so maybe that's probably not the best thing to do. But I've heard it's best to stick with one social media. So I mean, it can be a lot, updating Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So stick more to 1 or 2. That might be my suggestion.
So for me, I am on a lot of platforms. Specifically, I have the most followers on TikTok. Specifically, I have around 3,000 on TikTok. Instagram, I'm on DeviantArt and Tumblr. My second most amount of followers is actually on DeviantArt, and that's where my art does really well. And I have like 300 on DeviantArt. Instagram, I have like 100.
So you're into the classics,
Tumblr.
I see.
Yeah, like Tumblr, I've had a few posts go viral, but I think I only have like 90 followers on Tumblr. So my question is, are algorithms different on different like sites, or like how do you improve like your networking? I'm also on YouTube, but I just started, so I have 40 subscribers.
Yeah, they're the different and they're the same. The one thing I found is consistency and the length of your content and the engagement of your captions or post to get people talking. Like Neil said, the more people that talk about something on like Facebook, it pushes it up a little bit more because it's like, oh, people like this. And you just have to be semi-consistent every day, once or twice a day or every other day. And that kind of goes back to what you were saying about burnout and stuff, is break it down into chunks. Break your day or your tasks down into chunks, work on one thing for 30 minutes, and then move to the next thing for 30 minutes. And it will stop feeling like it's overwhelming. And then the same thing with the content. If you know you're not going to be able to make content for a few days, bank a couple of things just to put them out there or that you can post easily so it keeps it going. It's okay to take a day or two break, but if you are constantly seeing more and more engagement, and it's okay to pivot if you realize you post something and it didn't really get engagement, try something a little different. Not do a complete 180, but just shift the needle just a little bit, and you'll find out if it's working. If people are commenting more on videos, maybe post more videos. If they're commenting more on a certain type, keep that going. But write it out, make a plan, and then try to stick to it.
So what I actually found out about Instagram, which was kind of interesting, is that when people save your post, it actually helps with engagement. So I made a post where I made a plushie of the character Baxter from Has Been Hotel, and I was able to get his voice actor to like the post on Instagram. Another thing I will mention, the reason why I have 3,000 followers on TikTok is because I actually did strike gold on a couple of videos, and actually my most liked video has to do with Cuphead, which is, I was the Hildeberg cosplayer from, was like talking
Here's
about
a cheat code. Find somebody who's very popular on that platform, make fan art for them. They will repost it and get their thing out there.
Yeah.
Cheat code, it works every time.
Also the
another
funny thing is, the second most popular was a video about Inside Out. It was when Inside Out 2 came out, and I was like super hyper fixated with the first movie back when I was 12. So I posted my horrible art from back then, and it went viral.
It's fantastic.
The thing about TikTok, for like different algorithms, TikTok has this weird one where like it will randomly push out specific videos of yours. Like so you could post like every day consistently, and then one of your posts will go like 1 million views, and then the rest of your posts are like, so it's really strange. And I don't think a lot of algorithms work like that. And so TikTok is a good place to get started because there's almost a guarantee that at least one of your posts is going to get everywhere. But then in the different algorithms, like maybe what other ones? Like Instagram, that one values, I think, consistency. YouTube values consistency. And also long-form content, which is a lot more difficult. But like DeviantArt, I think that's just like you find your place in that, and that'll help you. Like just post what you want. Ultimately, don't become a slave to the algorithm. That's going to be horrible.
All right.
Thank you. I'm just gonna.
Okay.
I don't need to waste more of your time. Exactly what you were saying about posting what you want. At the start, when I was first trying to do some like shorts on YouTube, I would try and post what I would see other people posting about, and I would try to jump off of that. But I found I wasn't happy doing that. But then I started posting stuff I actually liked, which actually happened to be Myth of the Machine animatics, which was actually became my most popular and viewed shorts to date.
Isn't that poetic?
Which one did you make? We probably.
I can show you if I can show you at some point.
We'll be around.
They're posted. But I have two questions. One, how are you able to keep up with consistency of like posting Myth of the Machine like with school? And I've noticed that you tend to do it on like Monday nights. So like, how are you able to do that?
Ooh. Well, way to rat us out.
Yikes. Okay, so we are obsessed. So this is kind of something that's just like always on the back burner of our brains, pretty much. And we're
consistently planning. We literally go into each other's rooms and be like, I have an idea, write it down right now. I need you to write it down right now.
1 a.m., by the way. 1 a.m.
Yeah, okay.
From what I've seen
listen.
from the posting schedule, I can tell.
Yeah, we figure. Anyways, but the point is that like, we like what we do. That's the biggest thing, is that we love doing it. We love talking to you guys. We love posting content. It's something we genuinely love to do. So it's hard to like get us out of it because we're
just so excited about it.
We're also
If you're
just
really
as excited as
about-
you guys.
You're really excited about something, it's something you always want to do. And I know that comes into difficulty with time management, but use it like a reward for yourself.
Yes.
If you manage to do what you need to do, then you get to do what you want to do.
And for my last question, pretty obvious that I'm kind of gonna ask this. Will Enna appear at all in Myth of the Machine?
I guess you'll just have to wait and see.
All right, we got 1 minute
Why
left.
don't we knock
right.
these out?
Okay,
Everybody
yeah,
ask
okay,
them. We'll
sorry,
just
sorry.
stick around and come up and ask your question, and we'll jump on them, right?
Can
Yeah, go. I want everybody to get in, yeah.
Quick question, this is to all of you. It's a bit of like a leap of faith to get into a niche community and post. What's a good way to, I guess, do that, to start posting and keep posting?
Don't be embarrassed by what you love. Just start posting what you want. The biggest hurdle to get over is executive
getting started.
dysfunction. It's literally just to get started, get your stuff out there. You can edit it later. You can't edit a blank page.
Keep the enthusiasm going. I get more enthused to write when I go to like cons or things like that, keep yourself in the mindset.
Yep, just start, just do it. Don't think about it, just do it. You can adjust as you go on, but you can't get started until you start.
I get stuck sometimes editing my films, and they sit in a hard drive, and I have to tell myself, no one's going to watch a movie inside your hard drive. You have to do this, and you have to put it out there. You just have to do it. That's it.
Okay, we are at 12 o'clock, but we have a.
Knock these two out, please.
Come up after.
We can keep going.
Okay, we're good. All right.
Sorry, I just want to ask, because I know you guys were talking about embarrassment earlier and like having to get over that. How do you guys like do that? Like with embarrassment of the people that you know, maybe not understanding, or maybe like negative comments, like how do you guys deal with that and like overcome it?
If your friends see it and they're already your friends, they're not going to care. They're going to know that's you, and they're going to encourage you to do it. I don't really mind what people I don't know think about what I'm doing, because I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it to have fun, to show that you can go out and just be yourself and don't worry about embarrassment. Because if you don't do it, then that's worse than putting yourself out there. Put yourself out there because you don't know what you're going to get back in terms of positive.
Real criticism comes from the people who want to see you improve. You focus on those people.
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome and spotlight effect are real things on people. F them, forget it, all that stuff. Yeah, if you're talking about, some movie, Pet Sematary 2, 3-hour podcast, right? If no one cares about that, no one's going to watch it. You know what? I had a video on YouTube that has a ton of views, and some guy commented, "This is the worst videography I've ever seen. This story is terrible." And I posted, "Thank you for watching." Because he sat there and he watched the 15 minutes of it. I guess it wasn't that bad.
And it's tough. It's tough not to take it personally.
Yeah.
It's tough. But you have to really put it in perspective and say, I've never met this person. I'll never meet this person.
There you go.
And just move on and just...
And you're not the only one that they're saying that to. It's just happens.
Another half is going to say what you did is awesome, and they want to see more of it.
Yeah.
Focus on them.
I'm in high school. Every moment is like an embarrassment ritual. I'm not even joking. So it's like, no matter what, there's going to be people that are going to be like, "Oh, that's cringe. That's weird."
That's just
Okay, who cares?
Who cares?
They're upset, they're mad, and you're over here having fun. Like, who's really winning? It's really the thing.
Joy and whimsy shall win.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry to move this along. We'll definitely be here afterward. But yeah, last question.
I luckily forgot my original question, but
That's okay.
What are ways do you guys keep yourself from suppressing your anxiety and like pushing forward with like motivation and stuff?
Well, for videos, and if I'm by myself, I know I can always stop it and redo it. So.
Zoloft.
I just don't think about it. I'll get myself in the cycle,
I ain't
like
too
you said,
worried
executive
about it.
dysfunction, paralysis by analysis. If I'm thinking about it, I'm just going to shut down and not do it. So I'm just like, all right, let me go do it, and then I'll think about it later. I can go back and review it, but at least I went and did it. So it's sometimes you just don't think too much about it. Just go and do it. You already know you want to do it. So just do it.
Use the old Cuphead method. I ain't too worried about it.
Yeah.
Move on.
Also,
right.
it's good to have a support system, because I am constantly over here like screaming, crying, wailing, rolling on the ground at Nort's feet whenever I'm like, this one faceless anonymous user said this one thing and I'm really upset about it. And Nort's like, I don't care. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I don't actually care. It's
I
good
delete it.
Yeah, delete it. Find a good support system that'll help you overcome anxiety. And even if you want to get it out, then if you have anxiety, you have someone to go to who is going to support you through it.
I've done a couple episodes where I've thought, I've had a guest on that I've been nervous about doing, and I'm, like, okay, I got to walk around the house for a few minutes beforehand, like, just chill. You know what? I don't make notes because I have all these movies in my brain. Things like that, I make a structure and I write it down so I don't lose where I'm going with this. So I'm going to handle it. I don't get too over anxious or too excited about it. Just find the way that works for you. Just do it.
I think we kind of have to wrap up. We're a little past 12, but we'll be up in the back if you have any questions or want to ask anything else. So thank you all for being here.
Hanging around, we've got business cards. Thank you.
The Scary Movie Project podcast. Learn more at thescarymovieproject.com.